Welcome, seekers! You have made it to the Tarot Magicians channel. My name is Ricky, and today I bring you another Pick a Card tarot reading titled, Who Will Be Your Future Spouse? We will start the reading by picking up on their current energies, emotions, thoughts, and then we will talk about their motivations, ambitions, personality traits, etc. And towards the end of the reading, I will use the Lover's Oracle cards to provide you with advice concerning love. You are not going to want to miss that, so stay till the very end. Alright, so before we get started, I do want to remind you that I am offering private readings at this time. So if you are interested in a private reading, you will have to go through my Etsy store. I'm going to include the link in the description below. Alright, so let's get started with this reading. This is the most requested reading in this channel. You seekers love readings, so I bring them to you. And for this, we're going to show the 4 kings of the Star Tarot deck as our options. We have group number 1 as the King of Pentacles, group number 2 as the King of Cups, group number 3 as the King of Wands, and we have group number 4 as the King of Swords. So, take a moment, select the king that calls to you the most, and I will make sure to include the timestamps to your group and your king in the description below. Welcome, group number 1, to today's Pick a Card tarot reading, talking about your future spouse, all about them. Now, before we get started, I do want to remind you that I am offering private readings at this time. So if you're interested, you will have to go through my Etsy store. The link is going to be in the description below. So let's get started. You picked the mighty King of Pentacles. This is definitely a very inviting sight. This king filled with value and filled with so much understanding. So let's go ahead and see exactly what they're currently going through. That's the first thing that I want to try and discuss here. What are they going through? And for that, we're going to throw an oracle card and then some tarot to represent their current energies, thoughts, feelings. Oh wow, we've got Merlin. That's my favorite. This is from the Mists of Avalon Oracle. And we've got Merlin to represent them right now. This is interesting. The keywords that are associated with Merlin are magic, alchemy, equilibrium, and perception. Right? So very, very nice. I like these keywords. I feel like this person is right now trying to find their way in life. I feel like they're trying to reach new heights of glory, of understanding, really. And I feel like what's truly glorious to them right now is to master themselves, master their minds, master who they are, so that they can change in some ways the process of life. They can change their own life. I feel like with this Merlin, I feel this person is investing a lot of time and energy into growth projects. So think of someone that is looking towards making some kind of investment. They're thinking of maybe a safe investment or maybe a bit more risky investment. This is the kind of person that takes that risk, and they believe that if they do that, they're going to find that equilibrium. So they're taking chances, they're risking something in order to receive something, but it comes with a sense of mastery, right? The alchemical process that the Merlin offers is the process of turning lead into gold. So there's a sense of changing everything that they knew to be true to make space for the new. So very interesting energies. Let's go ahead and throw some tarot. Now today we're going to use a completely different tarot deck. This is the In-Betweens Tarot. I found it in the bookshelf. At this point I've got so many. And this one just called to me. So we're going to go ahead and use it. And we're going to get a little more understanding of what they are currently going through at this very moment. Let's see. What are they going through right now? What are they going through right now? Spirit, help us here. Help us with this reading. Help us try and find the answers. Here we are. Wow. All right. Interesting cards. Ace of Swords, very first one. Or I'm sorry, the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords talks about a divided mind, right? We have here a warrior that has reached a place where they have to make a decision. And they know that that decision is going to shape them. It's going to mold them into something. So they want to make sure that they make the right decision, but they're not sure how to approach this, which way to go, what is best for me at this very moment in time. So at this moment, their mind is a bit divided on what should be done, what should be next, right? Second card out, the King of Wands. Actually, we have a representation of the in-betweens. We have the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords, and I forgot that this deck is actually kind of interesting because it gives us the dual meaning, right? It's two cards in one. It's the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords. So what that means is that an idea has been birthed. It's been brought forward, but that idea is in some ways, it requires extra attention and thought and very strategic planning. So it's almost like with Merlin, right? We have here the alchemical process that Merlin likes to dabble in. Well, in order for Merlin to be able to turn lead into gold, there has to be a process. There has to be something that they follow, right? There has to be a structure. And so they are trying to figure out how to best approach this new, we can call it endeavor, we can call it venture, idea that they know is going to generate some kind of yield for them. They're trying to find out how to approach it right now in this current time. Now, we have here the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, a representation of them both, and my goodness, what a union of the two, right? So we have here someone who, with the Queen of Wands, is nurturing their projects, but those projects are life itself. It's fire, it's dynamism, it's forward-moving momentum. The Queen of Wands and both the King of Wands are leaders. They're leaders that lead with a very strong foundation and understanding of what needs to happen. And so people are naturally drawn to the Queen and the King of Wands because they are that dynamic. And so, you know, it almost feels like they're taking on a very strong leadership role in their projects, in their ambitions right now. They're moving forward. They're not letting anything get in their way. And then we have here with the Page of Coins, a sense of hard work, right? So this is definitely hard work. We've got the Page of Coins and the Knight of Coins. So we move from the determined, willfully powered Queen of Wands and King of Wands to a more practical, earthy energy of the Page of Coins and the Knight of Coins, right? These two, this combination is very interesting because it just screams practicality. You know, this is the person that gets up every day, goes to work, they're very diligent, they take care of what they need to take care of, and you know, we see it here, right? It's almost a factory setting, and we have someone who's working hard for their keep. They're working hard to save and hopefully someday to invest whatever they make. So, you know, a combination of the two tells me that they are nurturing this very, very profoundly so. Then we have the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups. And this is also very interesting because it tells me that they're very well balanced. The person that you are going to marry is a very well balanced person. And we see it currently, you know, maybe potentially we'll see if they've always been this way. But right now, currently, we have someone that's extremely well balanced, because here with the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups, the combination of them two shows us the beginning of true joy, and also the full-on experience of that joy. So with this combination, we have a love and a care for all of the things that bring happiness and joy and contentment and celebrations, right? So you think of the Three of Cups, we always see the three people dancing, having fun. There's a sense of ecstasy, exuberance, happiness, my goodness. And then with the Two of Cups, we see a more kind of personal energy, right? With two people just looking at each other, enjoying each other's company. There's just so much love, so much care for each other. And you combine those two, like this deck does, and what we have is just pure ecstasy, pure bliss, and a love for the process of finding that joy. So the reason why I'm saying that this person is extremely well balanced is because, we start with the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords, which tells us that this person is constantly trying to generate ideas. This person is a thinker. But at the same time, they're also doers, right? We have a lot of thinkers in our time, but what we lack is execution, right? And this person is very well balanced between the two. So Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, and then we see with the Page of Coins and the Knight of Coins combined, that practical element. This is the execution that's needed in order to actually bring those ideas into existence. And then we also have a representation of the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, and this is willpower. This is the desire to make something true in the world. And then all of that is well balanced with the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups, which just talks about emotional happiness, emotional fulfillment, emotional stability, celebrations, joy, fun. Very well balanced person. We have all four elements showing up here, right? All four suits. So that is a very interesting. And then to bring it all together, we have Merlin, which essentially represents all four suits in one card. So my goodness, right? There's just such a balancing energy with this person. And and we've got the King of Pentacles, right, to boot. You pick the King of Pentacles, which is someone who is just, I don't want to use the word balanced again because that wouldn't be right, but out of all of the kings, the King of Pentacles, I think, has the foundations necessary for everything else to grow on top, right? So that king just understands what's needed in life in order for there to be more life, right? And it's the process of creation, and it's the practical process of creation. And so, my goodness, this person is definitely someone who has it together. Right now, currently, they have it together. And it's very interesting. So let's go ahead and move on to the second part of this reading. As I've told you already, towards the end of the reading, I'm going to give you some advice from the Lover's Oracle, so you're going to want to stay for that. But now we are going to talk about their personality, traits, anything that the cards just want to tell us about this person. And for that, we're going to use the Star Dragon Oracle deck. Let me show you guys the box. We're going to use a Star Dragon Oracle deck to give us an understanding. Let's see. All right. So we're going to throw two. What dragons are accompanying this person? All right. Never mind that it's reversed. It's my fault. Look at that. I like these two dragons. My goodness. All right. So the first dragon that that's representing them in this reading is invention, burning with passion. My goodness. And we see that, right? We see that with that Queen of Wands and that King of Wands energy that we got in the very first mini reading. Now we have here a dragon that talks about those two elements combined. This is a true burning of passion and desire. It's not enough that this person is just alive and they can pay for their bills and they can just do what everyone else does. That's not enough for them. This person has very, very high ambitions, which is why out of all of the dragons in the deck, this one is the most active. It's the most almost iconic. There's a sense of true dynamism and true passion, right? So with this dragon by their side, it just tells me that this person is just very driven to achieve, very motivated, right? This is the kind of person that nurtures their projects. And then we have a second dragon that accompanies them, and this one is special. This one is special. Freedom, breaking the chains. I love this card, right? My goodness, there's so many chains that we as a people need to break and are breaking and have broken. And anytime I hear stories of chains breaking, it inspires me to move forward and to break my own chains and to even identify the chains that I can't see so that I can just destroy them, right? And this person is on that same kind of quest, right? They believe in freedom. So this is the card of entrepreneurship. This is the card of a person that comes up with an idea and they execute. And the thing is that they're in the middle of that process, right? They have ideas with the Ace of Swords. They are taking a practical approach, actually executing on those ideas. They're completely motivated. There's a fire that burns inside of them that says, I will achieve no matter what. And then once they go through that process, there's a sense of love and care and happiness and joy for this process, right? There's a lot of people that, unfortunately, they're always upset, right? They hate working, they hate having to do this, they hate having to do that. Not this person. The person that you are going to marry is happy with life. They're so inspired by creation. They're inspired by life, and they want to really be an integral part of that creation. They want to be a part of it. And they'll do that by breaking the chains that have held people back, by breaking their own chains, right? And, when you think of chains, what are the chains that are holding us back in today's world? Well, we have ideology, people that are just too idealistic. They're too radical in their approach to everything. That is a chain that needs to be broken. Also, working for someone else, right? Having to adhere to a schedule, or having to adhere to something that you don't want to, or that you'd make it better. So think of an entrepreneur that has his own business, and they just don't want to have to adhere to anyone else's demands. They want to do things their way, right? So that is a breaking of chains. That is a breaking of the old to make space for what's new. And what's new is what they are currently creating, right? What they are turning into gold, right? So again, we cannot forget this Merlin energy here with the alchemical process that it brings of turning lead into gold. So this person is very much, I think, a business owner. If not, they're working to own a business. They're maybe investors. I'm pretty sure that you're going to hear about their investments, and you're going to hear all about, what they're doing to increase their money and what they're doing to potentially help other people, right? Freedom, breaking the chains doesn't always have to mean personal gain or personal prosperity. This is the energy of someone who believes in breaking their own chains so that they can break all of the other chains, right? So this is a liberator of people, a liberator of the mind, a liberator of the body, a liberator of the spirit. So, it could very well mean that they're using their abilities, which from what I'm seeing, their abilities are truly great. They're using their abilities to further expand, right? To further increase, but not just themselves, the world and the people around them. Very interesting energy. Very interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and throw some tarot. We're going to throw 2 tarot cards, and we're going to see a little bit more about them. Let's see what else we get. Who is this person? Give us a little more understand. You've got the Magician. My goodness. This, and by the way, if you haven't figured it out by now, my favorite tarot card is the Magician. So that's why the whole channel is named after the Magician. We've had 2 magicians showing up here. We've got Merlin and we've got the actual tarot magician. So this person is a manifester in the strongest of senses, like the ultimate manifester. And obviously, when I say ultimate, I mean that they've reached a level of mastery that very few people will reach, or this is in some ways their life purpose. They've come here to create, right? They've come here to gain the ideas. They've come here to put those ideas into practical application. They've come to be a beacon of hope to other people, and they are also in love with the entire process. And that is the Magician, right? In all his glory. That is what the Magician is, completely. And there is a true sense of dynamism with the Magician. Now, the fact that this Magician is together with the High Priestess, we see the symbol for the mother maiden crone there. So, we also see the moon, which is a symbol of feminine power, and that is the representation of the high priestess as well. What we have is someone who essentially understands the hidden knowledge that's necessary to create something. So think of someone who doesn't care what people say. They know that most of the things that people choose to talk about is nonsense. They know that everything is a theory, so they're just going to go ahead and create their own life, their own world, and they're going to do it by having an incredible amount of fun, no matter who it insults, who it offends, because ultimately the magician doesn't care about that. The magician is free, and we see that with a freedom card, breaking the chains. That's what the magician is. The magician is a liberator of the mind, the spirit, the body. And then with the Three of Wands, we have a journey taking place. Again, Three of Wands and Four of Wands. I really like this deck. I hope you guys do too. I really like this concept of merging two cards together. It just makes the reading very interesting. But anyways, the Three of Wands and the Four of Wands together, we have an illustration of the process of receiving what you've worked hard to achieve, right? We have also a journey. It's an understanding that it's not done yet. That represents the Four of Wands. And we have this kind of homey feeling that the Four of Wands offers, which is essentially two people coming together, working hard and diligently to achieve what they want to achieve. So they're not done yet. This reading may seem like this person has figured it all out. And I got to tell you, this is a very special person that you are going to marry, truly. But this person is still working, right? There's still a process. There's still a journey that needs to take place. I got to tell you, when they reach the end, they're going to be able to look back and say, wow, I created that. That is amazing, because this person is a master manifester, and I can't wait to see what they manifest. I know it's going to be truly wonderful. My goodness. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the third part of the reading. I think, if you guys stayed to this very end, you're going to enjoy this. This is a message of love. Doesn't really have to do, doesn't have to be about your person that you're going to marry. This is just advice for you right now in love. So we're going to use the Lover's Oracle. We're going to throw 2 Oracle cards and see what the advice is. Well, this one fell, so we're going to keep it. And then we're going to throw one more. One more. So Spirit, give us a little bit of advice for right now, the here and now, for group number 2. What do they need to hear right now? All right, so we've got 2 cards here. Let's reveal the first one. Okay. Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart desires. Yes, group number 1, yes. All right, let's reveal the other card. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. Yes, my goodness. Beautiful message from the Oracle. Spirit did not disappoint with those messages. I am so happy that those were the cards that came out for you. My goodness. So group number 1, that is all I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for watching. Quick reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. If you are interested in a private reading, I only accept reading requests through Etsy. So you will have to go through my Etsy store. The link is going to be in the description below. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you once again, and bye-bye. Welcome, group number 2, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading titled, Who Will Your Future Spouse Be? Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. If you're interested, you will have to go through my Etsy store. The link is going to be in the description below. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So you picked the King of Cups, excuse me, the beautiful King of Cups. This is someone artistic, talented, a healer, but we're not going to have those traits as a part of the reading. That was just to pick, right? To pick your group. What we are going to do is we're going to throw an Oracle card from the Mists of Avalon. Let me show you guys the box. And for the first part of the reading, we're going to try and find out what they are currently going through. What are their current thoughts, current energies. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, we have here fairy. All right, interesting. So we've got fairy energy. The fairy energy is protective, nature's magic, playful, and there's a sense of guarding something, right? The fairies are the guardians of the forest. And so very interesting. So sitting with this energy, we can see that this person is currently working towards protecting something that they currently have. So it could be that they just got a job, or they're working on their career and they're working to protect it. They're working to keep that thing. They're not really focused on growing. It seems like they've already reached a certain place of victory, or at least they're doing what they want to do at this current time. What they are most interested in right now is protecting that they've already achieved. Also, there's a sense of having fun, right? We have here playfulness. The fairies are extremely playful. So this person is having as much fun as they possibly can right now. This is the person that works hard, plays hard. But I think that in some ways they've already reached a place of contentment where they are. So it could be that they've worked very hard, or they've studied very hard for a certain career path, and now they're on that path. Maybe they have a business, entrepreneurship ventures, and they've already reached the place where their business is thriving. So now it's staying at the top, right? Staying at the very top. And that's where their current energies and thoughts are currently. Very interesting. Now, we are going to go ahead and throw some tarot. This tarot is different. This is from the In-Between tarot deck. This deck is very, very interesting, right? And you're going to see why just in a little bit. But anyways, let's go ahead and shuffle. We're still trying to figure out what they are currently going through. And we're going to move to part 2 in just a little bit. But we're going to throw 4 cards to see what they are currently experiencing right now. Let's see. Okay. Wow. All right. My goodness. My. So, okay, let's take a look at the cards. And as you can see with the in-between cards, we have a representation. Every image is a representation of 2 cards. So here we have the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands, right? So this is the representation of those 2. And immediately with this card, what we see is planning and receiving, right? With the 2 of Wands, we have the master planner. We have the person that sets out on some kind of ambitious goal, looks off into the distance and says, that's how I want for things to turn out. And the 3 of Wands, it's the manifestation of that planning. This is the ships coming back. It's reaching a place of true success, right? And it feels like with that card, this person has reached that place, right? They planned it and they reached it. And it happened very quickly. It wasn't something that took too long. And I think that the reason why is because of their structure, their purpose, who they are. We've got here a very strong representation. Here we have an illustration of the Emperor and the Hierophant combined into one card. And my goodness, are these 2 energies so powerful, right? Because with the Emperor, what we have is a structure. It's a foundation being built, a foundation for prosperity. And then with the Hierophant, what we have is illumination from the divine being turned into something that people can actually digest. And so what we have is the foundation of 2 things: the foundation of earth, the foundation of progress, the foundation of financial prosperity, and also the foundation of spiritual knowledge, spiritual truths. Being able to essentially bring these 2 energies together means order out of chaos. With these 2 energies, we have someone who has worked diligently to reach a certain place in life, and it is a confirmation 100% of that protective energy that they have currently. Also, I'm getting the sense that this person is, a protector of their family, a protector of their of the people that are around them, that really were there at all times for them. So think of the entrepreneur that brings their people along whenever their business takes off. Right, and they're there to support them. They're there to grow with them, because this entrepreneur understands that it would not have been possible without the hard work of all of those workers, right? And so we have a little bit of an illustration of that here. The journey, right? The struggle, so to speak. It's funny that we have the 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, and then we have the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Wands here. But anyways, what we have here is a representation of the 5 of Wands, which is the struggle associated with what life has to bring, right? We see here the dark figures in the back that are essentially trying to destroy you. We have here a representation of the 5 of Wands in someone who seems fearful but also determined to overcome. And then in the 6 of Wands, we have victory, right? We have a vanquishing of that darkness, and a sense of success in all areas of life. And we have someone being crowned as the worthy victor. And so, yeah, this person has definitely seen some struggles, but they've overcome them, and they've overcome them quick too. Didn't take a lot for that to happen. Now, we are seeing some challenges, all right? So now we've come to the place where there are challenges currently for them. Again, an energy of overcoming, but yeah, these challenges were profound. So here we have a representation of the 7 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. Now, these 2 cards are very chaotic, right? It's the mind reaching a breaking point. So in the 7 of Swords, we have betrayal, we have backstabbing, we have someone who's using their words maliciously against you in order to possibly profit from you, right? And then in the 8 of Swords, we see someone who is tied down, almost in a place of mental drainage, right? And it feels like this person was betrayed by someone. And that betrayal really cut deep, really badly. And it got to the point where, they had to move on from this. If not, they risked sabotaging their entire operation. And we go right back to the fairy energy, protection, guarding, right? This person had to move away from this. And I think that this person really values honor, and they also value honesty, and they also value loyalty. So those keywords are very important for this person. Without loyalty, without honor, without trust, it's very difficult. And I think that I'm getting this sense that this person is building something. They're building a business, they're building a life, they're building a home, this person is a builder, not a destroyer. So whenever they meet this kind of dark energy, because there are destroyers out there, we live in a very well-balanced world, so for every creator, there has to be a destroyer. And I feel like they've been previewed to these people, right? I think that this is the kind of person that allows people into their space because they want to grow with them, they want to prosper, they want to build. But they were backstabbed, they were betrayed by a destroyer, a person who is essentially using their words for malice, using their words to spread rumors and lies about the person. A person who is in some ways an energy vampire, someone who is there to rob you of your energies. And we see that here, right? We definitely see those vampires here in the 5 of Wands and 6 of Wands in between card. They're just waiting for the fall. They're waiting for that downfall. And in some ways they've been hurtful, right? They've been very chaotic with their negative dark energy, and they've attacked this person that you're going to marry. But my goodness, has this person come out on top? They've created true order out of chaos. This person is a master creator. And it's very interesting that these are the cards. All right, let's move on. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk about this person's personality traits. We definitely got a glimpse of it with these cards, but we're going to go a little deeper. And we're going to start with 2 oracle cards from the Dragon's Oracle deck. So this is the Star Dragon's Oracle deck, right? So we're going to go ahead and throw 2. And we're going to see what dragons are accompanying this person at this very moment in time. Let's see. Let's see. My wow. Wow, wow, wow. The synchronicities here. Okay. So another dragon that talks about protection. Okay. This is interesting. So protection, finding what's important. And I think that this card is interesting because it not only tells us that this person is protecting something that they've already reached and they've already accomplished, but they're also still moving forward. They're trying to reach new heights of glory. So in some ways, they know that they've reached a place of importance and they have to protect that, but there's always more. Now, this person has this energy of forward moving momentum, juggernaut. I'm not going to be stopped. I'm not going to be in any way, shape, or form derailed. I'm going to continue moving forward as effectively as I can. And so we see that with the protection and the finding what's important dragon card. The second card is a little more interesting, right? We have here understanding, looking at both sides. And I love that we got this card, especially since we're using the in-between tarot deck, right? But looking at both sides, what we have here is someone who is very understanding, right? And that's why they were able to move away from the betrayal. The betrayal that befell them, the betrayal of this person, the betrayal of a group of people. It almost feels, I get the feeling that they were like fired. I get the feeling that they were fired because of a group of people, a collective group of people, almost like a cabal kind of like energy, or at the very least, it's like a board, a meeting that was against them or went against them. And it wasn't because of their of anything that they did. It was simply because they disliked them. It was a betrayal. It was a backstab. So think of a CEO who the board decides to vote in order to get that CEO out, right? And so I think that this person was betrayed by people who he thought or they thought that were going to really back him up. We're really going to help him. And unfortunately, it didn't happen, right? And that really just left them feeling depleted. But also with this energy of the Emperor and the Hierophant, they're able to look past that. They're able to tap into that energy of understanding, because that's what the Emperor is. That's what the Hierophant is. It's an understanding kind of energy. They're able to look at all sides. They're able to close their eyes and look at the world from a 360 angle, right? And they're able to make the decision that's best for them. All right, interesting. So we're going to go ahead and throw two more tarot cards from the In-Between Tarot. I hope you like these cards. I'm finding them very interesting to do readings with. That's why I wanted to use them for this reading. Very, very awesome. All right, let's take a look and see a little bit more about their personality, a little bit more about who they are, their traits. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Group number 2, this person is a lover, and I mean a lover. You've got the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Cups, okay? This person is someone who loves very genuinely, very beautifully. This is someone who believes in building a family. This is someone who believes in building something that is truly lasting. But at the same time, they know that what's truly important is for the people that they have around them to be happy, emotional fulfillment, satisfaction, right? They understand that the first line of, the first thing that they want to build and make sure that there's continuity there is the family unit. So, think of someone who's present in conversations. Think of a father figure who is there to protect in every way, goes to all the games. This is someone who shows up when they need to show up. They are a shoulder you can cry on, but also their protective and guardian kind of energy tells me that they're willing to do anything necessary in order to go out and achieve, right? So we also, one other aspect of these two cards that I didn't talk about was the necessity for them, right? In every single one of us, we do have some kind of darkness, right? And that darkness we try and quell as much as we can. We don't feed that darkness, we feed the good in us, right? But sometimes when the winds are too strong and when your family is at risk and everything is about to fall, you have to tap into everything that you have, 100% of what is inside of you, even at those dark parts. So, I get the feeling that this person is the kind of person that will do anything for the people that they love. Anything. They will go down to the depths of Hades himself in order to retrieve your soul if necessary and to fight against Hades himself. So this is someone who is willing to do anything necessary for love. And we see a little bit more of that, right? We see a little bit more of that with the lovers, right? And this is so interesting because we've got the lovers and the chariot, right, illustrated in one picture. And that is exactly what I just said, right? Someone who's determined to do anything for love. The lover's energy just tells you how much love this person has for the people around them, and for just the process of life, the experiences of life. And we see the determination with the chariot, the drive towards a goal, and the drive towards achieving true almost prosperity within the family unit, love within the family unit, and appreciation, care, honesty. There's just a sense of family ties growing. Someone who believes a lot in forming bonds that will last the test of time. This is definitely someone who loves very, very much to have people around. Just a lover. It's funny that you have the King of Cups, because man, you pick the king that essentially represents these energies beautifully, right? Now we actually have the cards to back up your selection, so congrats on that. You intuitively picked the right king, which is interesting for you. All right, so let's go ahead and throw some more cards. This time what we're going to do is we're going to ask Spirit for some advice, okay? Now, this advice doesn't necessarily have to be, about this person, this future spouse. This is just advice about love, right? That's it. Just advice in love. So for that, we're going to use the Lover's Oracle, okay? We're going to throw 2 cards, and we're going to ask Spirit to give you advice. Advice right now, right here, right now, in love, for love. And we've got card number 1. And we've got card number 2. All right, so 2 cards picked at random. Let's see what Spirit's message to you is. Card number 1. Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. Yes. Yes, I think group number 1 got this card too, and that's such a beautiful card to get. Yes, group number 2. Say thanks, give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Give thanks. All right, so the second card that came out, let's take a look. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Wow. I like that. So you've got here some very beautiful advice, right? Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Wow, what a beautiful energy. So, that energy of possession that sometimes we want to try and bring out is definitely not advisable at this moment. But my, give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Yes, thanks. I'm very happy that these are the cards that came out as the advice. I'm happy that you chose to watch this reading. That is all I see here. So I want to thank you once again. Also, just a reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. If you are interested in your own private reading, you will have to go through my Etsy store. That's the only place where I accept reading requests. I'm going to include the Etsy link in the description below for you. I'm looking forward to working one-on-one with you seekers. Thank you. Also, I want to thank you for your donations, your comments. I love every single one of you. Thank you for being so kind to me. I appreciate it. And bye-bye. Welcome, group number 3, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. Now, in this Pick a Card, we're going to talk about your future spouse. Who will be your future spouse? We're going to start with their current energies, but before we do that, I do want to remind you that I am offering private readings at this time. So if you're interested in a private reading, you will have to go through my Etsy store. The link is going to be in the description below. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So you picked the very powerful, dynamic King of Wands. Very interesting King of Wands. The King of Wands in many ways is the leader of the four kings. You know, there's a sense of dynamism, forward moving momentum. You know, this is the king that leads. When this king walks in the room, everyone just looks directly at him. Because there is a fire, there is a light that comes out of this king. So it's very interesting that you picked that one. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what this person is currently going through. And for that, we are going to use the Mists of Avalon Oracle. So we're going to throw just one card, and we're going to try and see or get an idea of what they're currently going through or experiencing right now in this very moment, this future spouse of yours. All right, so we've got Igrin. And Igrin is essentially all about beauty, motherhood, acceptance, and feminine power. This is very interesting. Very interesting card. You know, we're going to need more cards to truly get an understanding of this. But what I am sensing is an idealist. Someone who believes in empowering others, empowering the community, empowering themselves. There's a sense of fighting against injustice, but also there's a sense of acceptance when it comes to that, right? There's an acceptance of how things are at this current time. There's an acceptance of the horrors, there's an acceptance of the beauty, and there's also almost an integration of these two things that in some ways is able to change what's going on right now. Interesting cards, interesting energy. Let's go ahead and throw some tarot to get a better understanding of these keywords. For that, we're going to use a brand new tarot deck. I have not used this deck before, so I hope you enjoy it. It's actually called the In-Betweens Tarot, and it's interesting. They're very interesting cards, and you're going to see why right now. All right, so what is this person currently going through, Spirit? Give us a little more information, more insight. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Let's see. Wow. So much fire with this person. Man, oh man. Just fire. Leo energy all over the place here. Man. All right, so we start with the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Wands. What we have, and by the way, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is the In-Between Tarot deck. So what we have here is a combination of two cards in one. We've got the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Wands. So interesting, right? So anyways, this is a person who works very hard. Ten of Wands is the energy of someone that wants to be successful in every area of their lives. They'll work to the point of exhaustion, right? And the reason why is, and we see it with the Ace of Wands, the reason why is the desire for something new, the desire for a new experience, the desire for there to be the completion of some kind of project, okay? You know, I've said in the very beginning, this person has a very idealistic kind of way about them. And there's also this sense of wanting to find the light in the darkness. And my goodness, what a card to get to actually represent the words that I've just uttered, because we have here the star and the moon in one card. So take a look at this, right? We have the energy of the star, and as you guys know, the star is the energy of guidance, right? Anytime the star shows up, it means that there's divine timing at play. There's a divine presence in your life that's guiding you, showing you the way so that you can avoid pitfalls, you can accomplish things, and you can essentially reach a point of success, right? And success looks very differently to many people, but success nonetheless. Now, the moon offers the same kind of guidance, but there's darkness, right? There's darkness. You don't know exactly where you're going. As you can see, the other ships have kind of, have gone away from vision. You can't hardly see it. Are they ships? Are they dragons? What are those things, right? So, but at the same time, you know exactly where to go because the moon is telling you to come to me, child, right? That's the message of the moon. And so, you get the feeling that this person is right now going through some very, very chaotic waters. This person is going through waters that are not exactly, they're not exactly very safe, or they're not ideal, but at the same time, it's a necessity for them to accomplish what they want to accomplish. And again, a lot of Leo energy. This person is, in every sense of the word, a leader. So I'm getting this understanding that this person has a following, okay, some kind of following. This person has some kind of community, and they're leading that community. And so we see more lion energy with this beautiful illustration of the Chariot and the Strength card, right? And the Chariot is forward moving momentum. The Chariot is overcoming any obstacles. There's the sense of success in all areas of life, and climbing that mountain and standing at the very precipice. Now, with the Strength card, what we have is an overcoming of fear, and overcoming of anxieties, and overcoming of the difficulties that life throws at you constantly, and overcoming of those things in order to make space for what is truly going to allow you to be everything that you can be. And so I feel like this person is very determined, right, to move forward. This person is determined to be successful at this current time. And then we have here a representation of even more fire. My goodness, fire, fire, fire everywhere. We have here a representation of more fire. And it's funny that we have this illustration, right? We have the illustration of a person who's fighting against injustice, right? This is the card of someone who's fighting against injustice. She's about to go into this court, and she's about to plead her case against this injustice that has been brought forth against her community. Not even her, but her community. So she's fighting for an ideal. She's fighting for something greater. And, I get the feeling, the fact that we've got motherhood and feminine power, this person is fighting for, this person is fighting for more of an egalitarian society, equality in every sense of the word, fighting against bigotry, fighting against injustice in every sense of the word. And with the Knight of Wands, what we have is a rally cry, right? The Knight of Wands stands on his horse. Of course, we don't have a horse here. What we have is stairs. But, the Knight of Wands looks out and chants, "Today our enemy will not move forward another inch. This is the day where we have victory," right? This is the day when we push back against injustice, where we rise up. And so that's the energy that this person is somehow right now just under, right? Very interesting energy. With the Queen of Wands, again, we have more of a nurturer. A lot of feminine energy here showing up, but also masculine. Very balanced energy with this person. And that's their equality. And they have a very just egalitarian kind of nature about them, right? So yeah, this person is fighting against injustice. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some kind of nonprofit. I wouldn't be surprised if this person was a lawyer. I wouldn't be surprised if this person was right now working to further some kind of cause that's going to bring awareness, that's going to bring some kind of possibly equity to people. It's going to bring some kind of victory, right, to possibly a small minority of people that have been in many ways downtrodden. There's a sense of injustice here that this person is fighting against. So, my goodness, that is what they're currently investing their energies on. And here's the beautiful part about it. The star is also a representation of a divine presence that's guiding them, right? So this person is being guided by something truly divine that tells them, pursue this. Pursue it so that there can truly be change. But make sure that you do it from a place of love. Make sure that you do it from a place of nurture. Because if you do it from a place of destruction, then you're just going to burn everything down to the ground and there won't be anything to actually change. So all this fire, but all of that fire is balanced out by this feminine energy of nurture. So it's the perfect kind of balance, right? So anyways, let's just go ahead and move on. We are going to move on to the third part of this reading. And the third part, or so I'm sorry, the second part of this reading, my apologies. The second part is going to give us a little more understanding of, who they are, potentially their traits, also a little more information about their personality, character. We got a lot, okay, with these cards, but let's see if we can get a little more. And we're going to start with the very, very cool, I love this deck, Star Dragons Oracle deck. All right, we're going to see what dragons are accompanying this person right now. If we get a fire dragon, I'm laughing. But anyways, we'll see what dragon this person is being accompanied with right now and see what energies, not right now, but, internally, what is their dragon? All right. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So we've got the Dragon of Resiliency, right? Resilience. This person is very resilient. Finding your limits. I don't think this person knows that they have limits. So that's why they are trying to find them, right? We see it with all this fire showing up. Ten of Wands, Ace of Wands, King of Wands, which is what you picked. The Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords. I'm sorry, Queen of Wands. My goodness, Chariot energy. So we see a lot of fire showing up for this person. And we have here resilience, right? Finding your limits. This person is out there trying to achieve great, great feats, right? And it almost seems like they don't have limits. So they're actively trying to find them, right? They're pushing themselves to the very brink. They're pushing themselves to the limit. And then once they've pushed themselves far enough, they somehow find something more, a spark, something that puts them forward and doesn't stop. It's like, my goodness. And we see that, right? We see that with the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Wands, the combination of the two. With the Ten of Wands, we have someone who is possibly burning out or very close to burning out, reaching the end of something. And then immediately a transition into the Ace of Wands. And so what that tells me is that no matter how tough things get in this Ten of Wands, there was always the motivation for something new. So it keeps them moving forward diligently. They are juggernauts. They cannot be stopped. Whenever they have a project or whenever they feel like, okay, this is important, they go after it with everything they got. And we see it with the energy of the Chariot, right? The Chariot moves forward victoriously, doesn't even worry about who's in its way. People need to get out of the way of the Chariot because the Chariot is a juggernaut, right? So we see that very reflective of where he's at right now, where they are at right now. We also see with this resiliency a need to keep searching and yearning. So there's a need for that. And it's funny, with the Wisdom card, we have here asking questions. So the second dragon that's a part of their personality is wisdom, and they love asking questions. This is someone who's extremely open-minded, right? This is the kind of person that says, I know nothing. Even though they're very knowledgeable, they're very understanding, very studious, they're still the kind of people that say, I know nothing. Teach me what you have to teach me so that I can learn. That energy is an ever-evolving energy. There's no limit to that kind of energy because there's always a need to know more. And they're never going to look at someone and say, this person has nothing to offer me. On the contrary, they look at someone and say, this person has the world to offer me. So I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to ask the right questions so that I can learn from this person. That kind of individual goes wherever they want in life. Because they're constantly learning. There's never a limit, right? There's more listening than there is talking. And that is something truly powerful in a human being. And this person possesses that. So awesome. It also makes perfect sense, right? Why this person is an idealist, why this person is striving towards correcting injustices of the here and now, because there is a sense of understanding, right? When you ask a lot of questions and you hear people's stories, there is an understanding that takes place. There is a sense of knowing people's pain, knowing the injustice that plagues these people, and actually doing something about it, right? Not just listening for the sake of entertainment, but listening, knowing that there will be something that this person can do in hopefully the not too distant future. So that's why I'm getting kind of this kind of judge-like energy, lawyer kind of energy, but also just someone who has a community, people that are following him, and actually helping them, right? Mobilize. Very interesting energy. All right, let's move on. Let's not move on. Let's throw some more tarot. I want to see if the tarot can give us a little more understanding of this person's personality and who they are. Let's see. Help us out here, Spirit. Give us a little more information. Oh, wow. We've got almost a priest-like energy here. That's interesting. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Wow. Man, there's so much fire in this person. So much fire, so much ability. And it's so beautifully balanced between the feminine and the masculine, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Man, all right, so anyways, we've got the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is combined with the Lover's card, right? Man, oh man. So this is such a beautiful card because, the Hierophant is the understanding that there is something greater than us. It's an understanding of spiritual knowledge, right? It's a connection between us and the divine. But that connection takes form. It takes shape. It's a building that's created. That comes out of that. It's a church-like atmosphere and environment where people can receive from Spirit in a very profound way. But the one that is almost enlightened is there to be a conduit to Spirit, right? And then the Lover's energy comes in such a beautiful fashion, right? And the Lover's energy is just the blissfulness of knowing that there is love in the world, of finding that person that you love with all your heart, that you know is going to be there for whatever, tying the knot, marrying this person, right? A life partner. When you combine the two into one image, I mean, look at this beautiful image, right? We've got the priest marrying them, right? So beautiful. Yeah, this person believes in building. This is a builder. This person believes in building relationships, building people up, helping them come out of dark places. They're guided by something truly greater than themselves. They're guided by an energy and a presence of Spirit that just pushes them forward, ever gently, pushes them onward so that more things can be accomplished, more victory can be had in the face of defeat and injustice, right? And then we have here the final tarot card. And then we're going to throw some more oracles, but this is the final tarot that we're going to throw, and more fire, right? The King of Wands balanced out with the Page of Wands. My oh my. So, here we have an energy of forward moving momentum. And it's funny that you picked the King of Wands, and here the King of Wands is showing up with a balancing energy right alongside him. And so what this is a passing down of knowledge, to passing down of understanding. We have the older generation and the newer generation, the older being represented by the king, the younger being represented by the page, and almost a process of transferring that knowledge so that that page can reach that same level that the king is at, right? So, my goodness. And that's where that nurturing element of them comes in, right? That's why this motherhood, feminine power is such a big part of who they are. It's the balance. It's what keeps the fire that this person has inside balanced out. Because if not, then that fire would just destroy everything around them, right? In a violent rage. If you don't have something to balance it with. And my goodness, what a person, what a human being. So man, oh man. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the third part of the reading. The third part, it's really not about the actual person. It's really just advice about love. Okay, so advice from Spirit to you regarding love at this moment in time. All right, so we're gonna use the Lover's Oracle. This is the box. We're going to use the Lover's Oracle to get some direct messages from Spirit. Let's go ahead and take a look. Hey, look at that. So we've got the first card. We're going to use that one. And the second card, we're going to use this one. All right, so let's go ahead and read the one that came out first. It says, life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You will be surprised where it leads. Wow, I like that message. All right. All right, let's see what the second message is. Power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. Oof. Man, that is some very practical advice for the here and now. I get the feeling that some of you are in relationships that you need to say no to. That's just for some of you. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. But I'm getting this strong feeling with these two cards that, hey, it's time to change it up, baby. It's time to move forward. It's time to get rid of possibly the person that you have there. Or it's time to maybe get over someone, right, that potentially is just not right for you. Anyways, that is a direct message. I don't want to put any of myself into it. That is a direct message from Spirit to you. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much again for watching. Reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. If you are interested in a private reading, you will have to go through my Etsy store. That's the only way that you can place an order with me, through my Etsy store. The link is in the description below. Looking forward to working with you, seekers. I want to thank every single one of you for your beautiful words, for your donations, for the love that you give me, for the comments you leave, for the likes. Thank you so much. I love you all. Bye-bye. Welcome, group number 4, to today's Pick a Card tarot reading and oracle reading. You picked the very powerful and just magical King of Swords. There's a sense of justice with this King of Swords. There's a sense of overcoming obstacles and ideas as well, an idea generator. But anyways, before we get started with your reading, I do want to remind you that I am offering private readings at this time. So if you're interested, you will have to go through my Etsy store. The link is going to be in the description below. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with current energies. What are they currently going through, their current experiences, where they're at right now. We're going to start with an oracle card called the Mists of Avalon Oracle. All right, so let's shuffle, throw our card, shall we? Oh, look at that. You've got Fairy. This is interesting. I think that group number 2 got the exact same card. So there might be a message for you in group number 2 as well. But anyways, the Fairy is a very interesting card. This is someone who right now at this moment in time has reached a place of fulfillment. They've reached a place of greatness. However that greatness looks for them. They've reached a certain place in life. And they're trying to protect that place. They're trying to essentially work to make sure that it doesn't go away, right? So, and it's funny, the Fairy, they're the protectors of the forest. So I get the feeling that, this person is just naturally trying to protect what they've accomplished, right? And what I see with this card as well is playfulness. That's one of the key words there. Playfulness, fun. So they're trying to have as much fun as they can right now, while at the same time protecting what they've already accomplished, right? So interesting. Let's go ahead and throw some tarot. We're going to use a different tarot deck that I've been using, and it's called the In-Between Tarot. This is a very interesting deck, and you're going to see why in just a moment. All right, so what are they currently going through, Spirit? This future spouse of yours, group number 4. What are they currently going through, Spirit? Help us. Help us, help us, help us. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Yeah. They're definitely trying to protect something, and this something is definitely very important to them. So they're working very hard, diligently, to bring about this energy, right, of protection, an energy of everlasting expansion. There's a sense that they want to be, to be wealthy at a later age in life. And we have a very well-balanced person. I gotta say, this reading reminds me of Group 2, I think, and this is very interesting. A combination of Group 2 and a combination of Group 1. Very interesting. All right, so we start with the Page of Coins. And what we have here is a hard worker, okay? The person that you are going to marry, your spouse, is a hard worker. And we see that here reflected in this Page of Coins. Now, here's the interesting part about this tarot deck. The illustration is a combination of two cards. The combination of the Page of Coins and a combination of the Knight of Coins in one card. Very interesting. That's, all the cards are like that. So anyways, what we have here with the Page of Coins and the Knight of Coins is forward-moving, practical approach. You know, this is the kind of person that generates an idea. We see that with the Page of Swords. But then they take that idea and they actually start applying it, right? I think that one of the things that we don't have in today's world is people that are able to execute, or at least it's in short supply. And I feel like we are a society that has a lot of ideas, so many beautiful, wonderful ideas, but we simply just don't execute. We don't actually move forward towards that idea or have any kind of practical plan on how to make that idea a reality. But this person possesses that ability. We see that with the Page of Coins. We see that with the Knight of Coins. This is the practical side of this person, taking the ideas that is generated from the King of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Knight of Swords, and applying it right here, right now, in a practical way, right? Slow moving, but consistent, all right? Then we move on to the Ace of Cups and Two of Cups, right? So we have two cards again here, Ace of Cups, Two of Cups together in one. Beautiful illustration of the two. And what we have is the beginning of love and the finding of love. This is interesting, right? So we have here a representation of the Ace of Cups by this person noticing this other person, right? We have the beginning of that Ace of Cups. It's the beginning of a relationship, the beginning of romance, right? And with the Two of Cups, we have an understanding that this is a partnership between the two. There's love, there's care, there's attention. So in many ways, I feel like right now in this moment in time, this person is looking for you, group number 4. They are in high pursuit of you, of finding you in all your beauty and all your glory. They want to find you and they want to lock you down, okay? So Ace of Cups, Two of Cups energy, it's kind of where they're at right now. Now, we move on to a very kind of chaotic card, but definitely a lot of messages to dissect here. So we have a combination of two cards that are just so different from each other, and that's the beautiful part of this deck, right? We've got Temperance, and then we've got the Devil card, right? Together illustrated in one card. It's so interesting because the Temperance is everything well balanced. You know, Temperance believes in a well balanced approach to all areas of life, right? A little of this, a little of that to create something completely new. The Devil is excess. It's radicalism. Not only radicalism, but it's the excess and the ensnarement of something. Potentially, you know, eating disorders, disorders of the mind, disorders of things that unfortunately would destroy someone, right? Alcoholism, all these other things. So what we have here is a balance between the two, right? In this Temperance card, we have a balance between the two. And ideally, the Temperance card is what's taking precedence here, right? The Temperance card is the main card. It's essentially an understanding that this person has defeated that darkness and that energy of ensnarements and has reached a place in their lives where they value the balance that comes with a life lived simply, right? Not having to go to any excess or any extremes. And this is where they're most happy. You know, I feel like this right here was a big victory for them in their lives. That's how they were able to get to the point where they're at right now, where it's all about protection, playfulness, a sense of magic, right? When you're under the Devil energy, it's very difficult to find the magic in most everything, unless it's, you know, the things that that are almost addictive in nature. Whether it be sex or food or drugs or alcohol. The things that are not good for people, right? If you do it in excess, right? If you do it to the point where it's almost a need and a desperation that takes hold of you. And so there has to be a mastery of that, because if not, then you will in many ways be destroyed by it, right? It will have control over you. And this person, I think that at some point that those things had control over them, but temperance is a place where they've been able to kind of see what's truly important in life and focus on that. And they are protecting that with everything that they have. Now, we see with this card, the Page of Swords, a combination of the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. We see someone who has incredible ideas, also a very, very good communicator. All right, this is the kind of person that makes a very good lawyer, very good judge, someone who just speaks out against injustices, maybe a debater. This is definitely someone that uses their voice, uses their writing skills as well to communicate and interact with the world. I think that this is also someone who creates, right? They create, and that creation is what other people are able to benefit from. So I wouldn't be surprised if this person is a writer, if this person maybe is some kind of a novelist. But yeah, I feel like there's a strong energy here of writing. This person might be a writer. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to move on to the second part of this reading. And in the second part, we're asking a little bit more about personality, traits. And for that, we're going to start with the Star Dragon's Oracle cards. All right, so we're going to use the Star Dragon Oracles to see what dragon cards are mostly associated with this person, are most prevalent within this person. So let's take a look. Never mind that it's reversed. It's fine. All right, we have here the Self. This is interesting. We've got the Self, and the message is gathering your power in the Self. And this is that energy, right, that we saw in the very beginning. Protection, guarding, right? We have here a sense of gathering for your power. So this person is guarding their power. They're guarding all of that energy, and they know how to use it, right? They're explosive when they need to be explosive, but they're calm and gentle and understanding when they need to be. It's almost like in all areas they've reached a place of balance with that Temperance card, and it's now a part of who they are, right, at their core. So the Self, gathering gathering your power, yeah. And then the second dragon is a very special one, okay? Knowledge. This person is incredibly intelligent. Incredibly. Very, very smart. And we see that with the Page of Swords. I mean, even the King of Swords that you picked talks about knowledge. It talks about the attainment of knowledge, right? So we see it here now reflected in this dragon. That's a part of them and their personality. They are very knowledgeable, very smart, very astute. These are people that just know what to do. A master tacticianer, a strategist, someone that just knows how to play the game and knows how to play it very, very well. So a deep, deep sense of understanding. Now, the fact that we've got this knowledge card tells me that this person could be an intellectual, professor. Maybe they teach, or I already told you, the lawyer, judge. These are definitely things that are associated with this kind of energy. But whatever they do, they are responsible to. They're responsible for upholding society. They're responsible for almost shaping it in some ways with their words and their writing. Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this going. We're going to throw 2 more tarot cards, and we're going to ask Spirit to give us a little more information about this person's personality, who they are. Wow, 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 wow. Yes, I like these cards. I like these cards. All right, so we start again with an understanding again of who they are, right? We have here almost the exact same card that we had with the Page of Coins. But, if you notice the difference, there's been a little bit of a progress, right? Something, let me see if this comes into focus. Something has transpired here, right? Where in this image, this person is younger, just starting out. In this image, this person has reached a place of almost ownership. It's almost like if they own the factory that they used to work in, and now, they're able to continue and pass that knowledge that they have and that business that they've built on to the next generation, right? So forward moving momentum, right? We already know that this person is an executor. This person executes very beautifully. This person is not going to make excuses for anything. This is the person that works hard for their money, for their keep, and they strive ever forward to reach a place of true contentment. Now, this is the card that's very dynamic. You've got here Judgment. And this Judgment is combined with the World. And what we see, it's an illustration of reaching a place of true glory. There is no greater, I would say, experience than to have a divine presence, a spirit, look down and say, you've done it. My goodness, you have reached heights of glory that very few people will ever reach. And you've done it in a way where you've helped and you've assisted people. You did it in a very loving, beautiful, powerful way. And we are all very proud of you, right? So this is the card that says that this person is someone who is very virtuous, righteous, wants to move forward in the direction that helps most people. And it is very much, something that is very enticing to have around. I feel like, this person is definitely going to assist a lot of people, help a lot of people. And that is where their true power comes from, that help that they are giving and that they are providing. Wow. All right. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and move on to the third part of this reading. Now, the third part is going to be a little different. We're not really going to focus on your future spouse. We're going to focus on you. This is going to be advice from Spirit to you regarding love. So it's advice for you right now. Let's take a look and see what we get. This is going to come from the Lover's Oracle cards. Okay. So let's go ahead and shuffle and take a look. All right. So here's your first card. And your second card. All right. So we've got two cards. The first one, it reads, Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. Wow. Beautiful card. And then the second card, oh my goodness, sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. Wow. All right, that is very interesting. So, I feel like what Spirit is trying to tell you here is that, a lot of you have been through some very maybe negative experiences. They've left you feeling a bit depleted. And so it's important for you to focus on yourself right now. Focus on that healing energy, right? Focus on essentially what happened. And then it's funny, but we have here sexual union. And this one right here is a bit of a curveball for me. Because, tying it in, the only message that I think seems plausible here is that whoever is watching this, you have a strong desire for sexual union, okay? And so there's a sense of healing first so that the energies of this person can come to you quicker. And then you'll have that sexual union that's truly blissful. That's truly just, my goodness, almost ecstasy-like, right? True bliss is how it's worded here, right? So it's almost like Spirit would like for you to focus on that healing so that you can bring this into existence. All right, so that is what I see here, group number 4. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for being a part of this channel, for supporting me. Also, I want to remind you that I am offering private readings at this time. So if you are interested in a private reading, you will have to go through my Etsy store. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. Thank you once again for your donations, for your love, for your beautiful words, your support. I mean, you seekers are truly wonderful to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and bye-bye.